So we'll see one more important concept in men and work, the unitary method. Unitary method is nothing but proceeding with work done by a person in one day. Suppose if a person A can do a work in 10 days, in one day he can do 1 by 10th of the work. So by using this unitary method, we'll see what will be time taken by 3 persons working together. Say for example, you have 3 persons A, B and C. So the person A takes 10 days to do a work. Another person B takes 3 days to do a work. And third person C takes 15 days to do the same work. So what will be time taken by all the 3 A, B, C working together? So in how many days? So if A can do a work in 10 days, so proceeding by the unitary concept, in one day he can do 1 by 10th of the work, and B in 3 days, in one day he can do 1 by 3rd of the work, 1/3 of the work, and C in one day can do 1 by 15th of the work. So normally they will proceed like this to find time taken together. So in this we get work done by all the 3 per day and then reciprocate. So instead of doing all this, so easily you can find time taken by all the 3 working together by finding LCM of time taken. Here A takes 10, B takes 3 days and C takes 15 days. So we assume LCM of 10, 3 and 15 as the total work. So to find LCM, we take the highest number 15. So 3 is a factor of 15, but 10 is not a factor of 15. So when you go to the next multiple, 15 into 2, 30. So 3 and 10 both are factors of 15. So LCM of 10, 3 and 15 is 30. So the assumed work is LCM of time taken. So that is LCM of time taken is 30 days. So LCM of time taken 10 days, 3 days and 50 days is 30. So we assume that the work here is to make 30 toys. So if total work is 30 and if A can do the work in 10 days, in one day A can do 30 divided by 10, 3 toys. So in the same way proceeding, in one day, so if he can do the work in 3 days, 30 divided by 3, he is doing at the rate of 10 toys per day. And if C can do the work in 15 days, in one day, 30 divided by 15 equal to 2. So C can make 2 toys per day. So when all the 3 work together, so they can make 3 plus 10 plus 2, 15 toys per day. So now all the 3 so adding all this work done by A, B and C, so we have 15 toys. Here the work is 30 toys, and if all the 3 can make 15 toys per day, to make 30 toys they need 30 divided by 15, 2 toys or 2 days. So total work is 30 toys per day. A can make 15 toys. So in 2 days, all the three can complete this work. So time taken by A, B and C is 2 days. So now we have worked for 3 persons. We'll see what will be time taken when 2 persons work. Say there are 2 persons A and B. So where A can do a work in 8 days and B can do a work in 9 days. So proceeding in the same pattern, that is taking LCM for time taken, as 8 and 9 are relatively prime, that is no common factor between these two terms, LCM will be product of these two numbers. So assumed work will be product of 8 and 9, 72. So here product of 8 and 9 is 72. We assume that the work here is to make 72 toys. So if A can make this 72 toys in 8 days, in 1 day A can make 9 toys. And in 1 day B can make, so as he needs 9 days to make this 72 toys, in 1 day he can make 72 by 9, 8 toys per day. Now both the persons working together, so in 1 day they can make 17 toys. So if they can make 17 toys per day, time taken by both working together to make 72 toys is 72 by 17. So now when you look at here, time taken by A and B is 72 by 17. So this 72 can also be got by multiplying time taken by A and B, that is 8 into 9. And this 17 is got by adding 8 and 9. So whenever you have 2 persons, say A and B, taking 8 days and 9 days, for time taken together, you can find time taken will be product of time taken by sum of time taken. Say suppose if A takes A days and if B takes B days, so for 2 persons, instead of taking LCM and seeing what is the work done by A and B and what work is done by both together in 1 day, so instead of doing all this, so you can just use AB by A plus B. So A taking A days and B is taking B days. For together time taken A and B, it is A and B together, AB by A plus B. Say now if you are given that A takes 10 days to do a work, and B takes 15 days to do a work, so time taken by both working together, so no need to find LCM at all. So just use AB by A plus B, you get time taken by A and B working together. So substituting for A 10 and for B 15, we have so just multiplying this time taken 10 and 15 and adding this 10 and 15, you get time taken together. So but this can be still more done easily by finding ratio of work done, time taken. So A is taking 10 days and B is taking 15 days. So here we have the common factor 5. So when you simplify, so we get 2 is to 3 and the common factor is 5. So after simplifying the common factor, we have got time taken ratio as 2:3. Now instead of doing AB by A plus B for 10 and 15, you can do AB by A plus B with this ratio itself and multiply the common factor once. So 10 you can get as 2 into 5 and 15 can be written as 3 into 5, and when you add 10 and 15, it is 2 into 5 plus, so 3 into 5. So here taking the common factor 5, so we can cancel the common factor. So now instead of working with 10 and 15, you can proceed with the ratio itself and multiply the common factor 1. So quickly you can arrive at the answer by using the ratios. So here ratio is 2:3 and common factor is 5. So time taken by A and B is, so A into B, that is 2 into 3 by 2 plus 3, and the common factor here is 5. So now cancelling this, so we get A and B can do the given work in 6 days. So whenever the number of days is given for two persons, you can just use AB by A plus B to find time taken together, and still this can be made easier by finding ratio for time taken and proceeding with the ratios with AB by A plus B and multiply the common factor once. So now we'll see how to work out time taken by two persons A and B working this question. So now the question is, if A and B can do a work in 80 and 48 hours, if they work together, in how many hours they can complete the work? We'll see the working. So A can do a work in 80 hours and B can do the same work in 48 hours. So A can do a work in 80 hours. B can do the same work in 48 hours. So now you have two persons. So using AB by A plus B, you can find time taken by A and B together. A and B, it is AB by A plus B. So substituting for A as 80 and for B as 48, you can proceed. But here using the shortcut, so we can see what is the common ratio between time taken by A and B. So common factor between 80 and 48 is 16. So 5 times 16 is 80 and 3 times 16 is 48. So ratio of time taken is 5:3 and the common factor which we have simplified is 16. So now instead of working with 80 and 48, which leads to huge values, you can work out with 5:3 itself. So time taken by A and B is AB by A plus B, so 5 into 3 by 5 plus 3. And now multiply the common factor 16 once. So here 5 plus 3 is 8. So now using the ratios, we have easily got time taken by A and B working together. So 5 into 2, 10 into 3, 30. So A and B working together, so they need 30 hours to do a work. Now I will give you one important question which they ask in the exam. Say suppose A takes 4 hours more and B takes 16 hours more to do a work than both working together. So A takes 4 hours more and B takes 16 hours more to do a work than both working together. What will be time taken by A and B working together to do the same work? So find time taken by A and B. To do the work. So here, say for example, if A and B together can do a work in 100 days. So this is for example 100 hours. A takes 104 hours to do a work. So A takes 4 hours more than both working together. If suppose, say for example, if the text means that if A and B together needs 100 hours to do a work, A is taking 104 hours and B is taking 116 hours to do the work. So we are asked to find time taken together. So now proceeding with this two persons AB by A plus B. So A equal to, so when we take time taken together in X hours, so time taken by A is X plus 4 and time taken by B is X plus 16. So now time taken by both A and B is X. So using AB by A plus B, so time taken together is equal to X. So substituting for A as X plus 4 and for B as X plus 16. So we have X plus 4 into X plus 16 by X plus 4 plus X plus 16 equal to X. So now expanding this and solving, you get a quadratic equation in X. You have to factorize that and solve for X. But in the question, whenever they give us time taken more than working together, so instead of doing all this, answer will be, so product of additional time and take square root. So product of 4 and 16 is 64. Square root of 64 is 8. So A and B together can do the work in 8 hours. So because when you expand this, finally you will end up with the equation x square minus 64 equal to 0. So where x equal to plus or minus 8. So avoiding this negative values, so we get x equal to 8. So time together is 8. So instead of working all this, so whenever they give us additional time, 4 hours more and 16 hours more, the time taken together is product of this additional time and then take square root. So you can avoid all these calculations. Say for example, so if suppose A takes 3 hours more and B takes 12 hours more, so then time taken together will be product of 3 and 12, which is equal to 36, square root of that 6 hours. So seeing the question, so immediately you can write at the answer. Go for the answer. So if suppose you have A takes 8 hours more and B takes 4.5 hours more, so product of 8 into 4.5. So which is equal to 4.5 is 9 by 2, 36. So whenever this additional time is given, product will be always a square number, and taking square root, you get time taken together. Suppose in this question, so if 1 they give us less, so A takes 8 hours less, for one value less or both value less. So then what will be the working? So whenever they give us less, the data itself is wrong. Suppose if A can do a work in 10 days and B can do a work in 15 days, so when they both work together, answer will be lesser than the least. So if A can do a work in 10 days, the least value is 10. If he is assisted by another person, so obviously time will be lesser than the least value. So both working together, so using AB by A plus B, we get 6 days. So whenever they give one less or both less, so the data itself is wrong. So this is one important question which they ask in the exam. So whenever you see this concept, find product of this additional time and take square root. So now time taken by A and B is given and time taken by AB together. So just using by AB by A plus B, we have got the answer. So there it was A took 80 hours and B took 48 hours. So using AB by A plus B, we got 30 hours as the answer. So the presentation objectives are, at the end of this session, you will be able to solve the following problems in men and work when m men in n days are given, to find the number of days taken by x men and to find number of men needed to do a work in x days. So when men, days and hours are given, to find number of days or to find number of men or to find number of additional men. So in men and days, you may get questions like the garrison having provision or stock of provision for so many men. So that type of questions also, to find number of days where the stock will last. And to find time taken by A and B to finish the work, find time taken by A, B and C together to finish the work, and also find time taken by any one of A, B and C if A joins the work after some days, to find the number of days to do the remaining work, or if A leaves the work after working for some days, to find number of days to complete the remaining work or the whole work, A and B working alternatively, or to find the ratio of work done, and also to find time taken by m men and n women working together. So now we'll see the working of the questions.